Rolling. JMM leaders are feeling at the top of the world and on cloud nine after the landslide mandate in the recently concluded assembly polls. What was the X factor and what steered India bloc to a great victory? We are joined by Kunal Sarangi, senior JMM leader, to speak on this. Kunal, what do you think? What was the X factor and what worked for the India bloc?
See, honestly, I feel there cannot be just one factor for such a landslide victory. It's a combination of many factors. First is, of course, the Maiya Samman Yojana that actually emboldened the confidence of the female
And
voters,
the trust of the tribals?
trust of the tribals, also non-tribals, trust of the entire women fraternity in the functioning of this government. Second, the electricity bill waiver, it actually brought a huge relief to more than 40 lakh families across the state. Third is the way Hemant Soren and Kalpana Soren connected with the masses.
Connected with the mass.
Yes.
Kalpana Soren was
Kalpana
a
Soren
big
particularly,
element.
Yes, because BJP was still relying on the imported leaders that they got from other states. They hardly made use of their local leaders, the local state level leaders. So that sort of went against them because even the BJP workers were not feeling that energized purely for that reason because
You mean to say that they were feeling neglected?
absolutely. And the
Sidelined.
state leaders, the state level leaders, a few ex chief ministers also were kept confined to their own assembly constituencies. So, and here you see a couple of Kalpana Soren and Hemant Soren, they together only did more than 200 meetings, 200 rallies. So that sent a very clear message to the voters. Like Modi ji always says, vocal for local. So they actually followed the vocal for local. They believed in the local leadership. They believed in the local way of the government, and they believed in whatever little resources the state government had, despite all the challenges like COVID-19. And the Honorable Chief Minister was also sent to jail for more than 5 months without.
What do you think? This factor also worked. The
Absolutely,
sympathy
it worked.
for Hemant Soren
It-
because he was sent to jail.
Absolutely, it worked during the parliament election. If you see, the reserved category seats, all the seats went
All
to the
the seats.
Mahagathbandhan, and even for the non-reserved category seats, the margin of winning, which was more than 3 lakh, 4 lakh in 2019, it came down to an average of 1.5 lakhs, 1 lakh. So this clearly sent a message to the center that whatever you did with the chief minister without having any substantial evidence, you sent a sitting chief minister to jail. People didn't like it. People voted against that decision. They still did not learn anything from that. They repeated the same mistake 3 days before the first phase of polling. The personal secretary to the chief minister, Sunil Srivastava, was raided by IT. So the way agencies were functioning, as if they are BJP workers, the officials were functioning like BJP workers.
It irked the Jharkhand people.
Absolutely. And I would always give this example. They created the Frankenstein monster. They created these scenarios, and those scenarios only ate the BJP up in the assembly elections.
Now, what do you think? What are the challenges before the government and what should be their priority?
See, I always believe, because I represent the youth in Jharkhand politics, so I always feel that the employment scenario, the government must work very hard on how we ensure maximum employment opportunities for our youth, because the youth still feel, no doubts, BJP ran a very strategic campaign against this government through some coaching centers and through planted you can say activists who were sounding very concerned for the interests of the students, but in reality they were all working like BJP agents, like the JSSC CGL examination, about the JSSC CGL examination particularly. So now it is on the government to take notice of the reality of the situation and work very hard to ensure that the students get justice and maximum employment opportunities can be created.
They'll also have to ensure that the schemes they have rolled out continues.
Those
Maiya
schemes
Yojana,
continue, and
the electricity
also,
waiver.
to add on to the employment scenario, the government must give a very clear message to the youngsters that opportunities are not only limited to government opportunities. We will also work very hard to open up the private sector opportunities for our youngsters who are educated and want to get employment locally.
Thanks for speaking to us, Kunal.
Thank you so much, Satji.
So, Maiya Yojana coupled with the other factors, other elements, did the wonders for India bloc in Jharkhand. With Akash, this is Satyajit Kumar in Ranchi for India Today.